Hello. Do you want our webinar recordings to look professional and polished? This tutorial shows you the simple, standardized process for transforming our raw Zoom files into high-quality, shareable videos using the free editing software, VideoProc Vlogger. We focus on two main tasks. First, efficiency. We trim the fat, removing the few minutes of waiting time and any fumbling or technical glitches. This ensures our viewers can get straight to the content they paid for. Second, engagement. We transform Zoom's static view into a dynamic viewing experience. We'll show you how to seamlessly switch between the slides, the demonstrator's hands, and the moderator's view to keep the focus on the most relevant shot at all times. By the end of this video, you will have a clear, step-by-step workflow that consistently delivers polished webinar recordings, perfectly optimized for sharing on our private Vimeo channel. So, how do we achieve this polished result? Our editing process for every webinar follows four simple, sequential stages. We call this the VideoProc Vlogger workflow. Stage 1, Preparation. First, we organize our assets. This involves downloading and renaming the Zoom files, and getting them ready inside the VideoProc Vlogger media library. Stage 2, Logging and Layout. Next, we map out the edit. We quickly lay all the video streams onto the timeline and use simple marker images to visually flag every section that needs trimming or where the view needs to switch. Stage 3, the Assembly. The third stage is the precise assembly. We use our markers to quickly cut the video into small chunks, removing the unwanted material and replacing it with the correct view, whether that's the demonstrator or the presentation slide. Stage 4, Quality and Export. Finally, we check the audio for consistent volume and export the final video, using the specific high-quality settings required for our Vimeo channel. Our first and most critical step is asset management. We need to download the recordings from the Embroiderers Guild Zoom account and move them into our dedicated working folder. Once logged into the Guild Zoom portal, navigate to the Recordings tab. Find the recording you wish to edit, select the More menu, the three dots, and click Download. All recordings and associated files will download directly to your computer's default Downloads folder. While your files download, if you need to monitor their progress, you can usually check your browser's Downloads bar or folder. As soon as the downloads finish, immediately move all files, that is, the 5 video views, the chat, and the caption file, into your specific, dedicated project folder. When you download the recordings, Zoom provides several files. Notice we have the chat file, and this important closed caption file. The caption file shows us the exact timing for every word spoken, which is invaluable for precise cutting later on. With our files moved, the next critical task is to label each of the 5 video files. Why rename them? The name acts as a quick label for efficiency, and it also saves us time by making the video's resolution immediately identifiable within the file name. The Guild's naming convention is the view type plus the resolution, like this, viewtype_1920x1080. Let's start with this first large file. We can quickly scrub through and see this is the screen and speaker view. I'll rename it, ScreenSpeaker_1920x1080. Moving to the next file, a quick check confirms this is screen only. We rename it, ScreenOnly_1920x1080. This smaller file is the speaker-only view. It's always recorded at 640 by 360, so we don't need to preview it. We rename it directly, SpeakerOnly_640x360. This file is the screen and gallery composite. Notice that Zoom prioritizes the shared screen over the gallery. We rename this, ScreenGallery_1920x1080. Finally, this is the gallery view, which has no screen sharing. We rename this, Gallery_1280x720. Before we set up the timeline, we need to gather our editing markers. These markers are stored on the EG Volunteer shared information site. Please navigate to the path shown on your screen. Once you find them, copy these marker images and paste them into a new subfolder named Markers inside your main project folder. We need these markers ready because they are essential tools for the next step, logging and identifying cuts on the timeline. Now we open VideoProc Vlogger and start a new project. We need to give our project a descriptive name and then specify the project save location. Next, we confirm the video resolution. For the Guild's videos, we always set the resolution to 1920 by 1080. This standard ensures high quality for our Vimeo delivery. Once complete, click the plus button to open your dedicated project folder and load all 5 video views and the markers into the media library. When setting up your timeline, your first key strategic decision is choosing the base track. The base track should be the video view you anticipate using for most of the edited video. For a standard talk or presentation, this is typically the screen and speaker view. For a demonstration or a hands-on workshop, you might choose the speaker only or a gallery view. Screen and speaker is our chosen base track for this video, so select the screen and speaker _1920x 1080 file from the media library and drag it down onto the main video track. Now we prepare the remaining 4 views for easy switching. Since Vlogger only shows 1 overlay track initially, we need to add 3 more. To make the plus icon visible, first click anywhere on the existing overlay track. Now, click the plus icon 3 times to create a total of 4 overlay tracks. Next, we'll drag the remaining 4 video files, the gallery _only, speaker, screen _only, and screen _and _gallery, onto the 4 new overlay tracks. It doesn't matter which file goes on which overlay track. This next part is non-negotiable: synchronization. Every single one of these 5 video files, the base track and the 4 overlays, must start and end at the exact same moment on the timeline. Precisely align the starting point of all 4 new views with the beginning of the base track. This perfect alignment is absolutely crucial so that when we cut between views, the viewer hears no jump or hiccup in the audio or video time. Take a quick moment to check the media library. Notice the green tick next to each of our 5 video views. This confirms they have all been successfully added to the timeline. Since the 4 overlay views are stacked and obscuring the center of the screen and each other, we'll create a visual reference grid in the preview window. Select each of the 4 overlay clips one by one in the timeline. Now, adjust the size by dragging the corner points inward and position them into the 4 corners: top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right. This step is temporary. Our first edit is removing the initial waiting time, verify the audio and visual synchronization across all 5 views. We need to find the visibility of the base track before we begin the actual cutting process. Scrubbing gets you close, but for frame accuracy, look at the audio waveform below your base track. A long, flat line indicates silence. The moment the waveform jumps, that may be your starting sound.
Introduce myself.
To reach that precise frame, you can use the dedicated frame-by-frame buttons located just below the preview window. Click the next frame or previous frame button to nudge the playhead until it aligns perfectly with the cutting point. Once found, click the marker button to drop a point directly on all the tracks. Crucially, we need a clean track for our markers. Since we have 4 other views on the overlay tracks, we will need 1 more track. Go to an existing overlay track, click to reveal the plus icon, and add 1 new track dedicated solely to our editing markers. Now, drag your delete marker image from the media library down onto this new, clean marker track, aligning its start point with the 0 point of the timeline. Your delete marker defaults to 5 seconds, so we need to expand it to cover the section we want to remove. We'll start with method 1, visual dragging and snapping. Drag the right edge of the marker image outwards until it aligns with the marker you placed on the base track. You will see a thin green alignment line appear, confirming the snap is accurate. This visual snapping method is fast and perfectly suited for trimming the overall start and end points. Now, for editors who prefer technical precision, we'll look at method 2, using the Properties panel. First, snap the playhead directly to the marker you placed. Note the exact time displayed above the marker, in this case, 000034,760. This is your cut point. Select the marker image clip on the timeline. Go to the Properties panel on the right side of Vlogger, open the time and duration settings, and manually type the time you noted into the End Time field. Finally, press the Apply button for the change to take effect. This method is invaluable when you need to match a duration or cut to a specific timestamp provided in the closed caption file or a director's note. Our next logging task is to identify where we need to switch views to improve audience engagement. Our base track, screen and speaker, is fine for the main content, but for the introduction, we need the gallery view to show our moderator, Mary, and demonstrator, Fiona, side by side. Crucially, the start point for this view switch is already logged. It is the same point as the end of our initial deleted section. Find your specific gallery marker image in the media library. Drag it onto your dedicated marker track, aligning its start edge with the existing marker you placed earlier. This signals the beginning of the required gallery segment. Next, locate the exact frame where the introduction ends. Drop a second Vlogger marker on the base track here. Finally, drag the right edge of your gallery marker image outwards until it snaps precisely to this second marker. You have now used the marker image to define the entire duration of the segment that will be replaced by the gallery view. The segment immediately following the introduction is the demonstrator's main slide presentation, which uses our base track, screen and speaker view. This is the view we want to keep for maximum clarity. The segment starting point is already defined by the last marker we placed. Now we must find the next changeover point. Scrub or use your frame-by-frame controls to find the exact frame where the demonstrator stops presenting slides. Once found, drop a Vlogger marker at this precise point. Now, find your Keep marker image in the media library. Drag it onto your dedicated marker track. Align the Keep marker's start edge with the previous marker, and drag its right edge outwards until it snaps perfectly to the new marker you just placed. The Keep marker now visually confirms the entire duration of the content we intend to retain. The next segment is a delete. We need to remove the moment the demonstrator fumbles the transition from the slideshow to the phone camera demonstration. The start of this delete segment is already defined by our last marker. Now, scrub forward to find the exact frame where the phone camera demonstration is cleanly operational and the instruction begins again. Once found, drop a new Vlogger marker at this precise point. Find your delete marker image in the media library. Drag it onto your dedicated marker track. Align the delete marker start edge with the previous marker, and drag its right edge outwards until it snaps perfectly to the new marker you just placed. This delete marker now visually confirms the precise duration of the technical error we need to remove. The next section shows the demonstration on the base track, so this needs to be identified as a keep. The demonstration segment is finished, so the next action is a view switch to the gallery view. This view is essential for the Q&A, announcements, and sign-offs. We have one last item to log, the final deletion. The start of this delete segment is the marker you just placed. Drag your delete marker image down, aligning its start edge with that marker. Finally, drag the marker image's right edge outwards until it snaps to the very end of the video track. This confirms that everything from the final goodbye marker to the end of the file will be removed.
Whoops, just a second, that didn't quite work. Okay, that seems to be okay now. Let's get started with the demonstration. First and foremost, you need your fabrics. As you saw me do earlier, collect a variety of scraps. You need demonstration. First and foremost, you need your fabric. First and foremost,
Thank you very much, Fiona. That was a very interesting
demonstration. Are there any questions, Mary?
Thank you very much, Fiona. That was a very interesting
Goodbye. Thank you and goodbye.
So, we will both say goodbye. Goodbye.
Thank you and goodbye.